There is a conversation happening right now that you are not part of, not because you are not smart enough, not because you were not born into the right family, because nobody invited you. The people who understand how money actually works do not teach it in schools. They do not post it on social media. They do not explain it at family dinners. They use it quietly and they let everyone else stay confused. This video is the invitation. The first thing the 1% knows that almost nobody else does is that there are two completely different financial worlds operating at the same time. One world trades time for money. You work an hour, you get paid for an hour. You stop working, and the money stops. This world has a ceiling, and almost everyone you know lives inside it. The second world trades value for money. You create something once and it pays you repeatedly. You build a system and it runs without you. You own something that appreciates while you sleep. The 1% does not work harder than you. They figured out which world to operate in. School teaches you to be excellent in World 1. Get good grades, get a good job, work hard and get promoted, earn a salary. This is not bad advice for survival. It is terrible advice for wealth, because the salary ceiling is real and almost nobody breaks through it by working harder inside the same system. The second thing they know is that income is not wealth. This sounds simple, but almost nobody actually behaves like they understand it. Most people treat income as the destination. Earn more money and the problem is solved. But the 1% treats income as raw material, something you process into assets, something you convert. Income that does not get converted into assets just gets spent, and people who spend everything they earn regardless of how much they earn never build anything that lasts. The third thing is about leverage. Leverage is the ability to multiply your effort without multiplying your hours. The 1% understands leverage in three forms. Financial leverage uses borrowed money to control assets worth more than you own. A real estate investor who puts 20% down and controls a property worth 5 times that amount is using financial leverage. When the property grows in value, the entire gain comes back to you, not just 20% of it. The second form is human leverage. Building a team means your business can produce 10 times what you alone could produce. The output multiplies while your personal hours stay the same. The third form is media leverage. Content that you create once can reach 1 million people. A video, a book, a course, a newsletter. You made it once and it keeps working. The 1% uses all three forms of leverage simultaneously. Most people use none of them. The fourth thing is that the wealthy are not primarily focused on saving money. This surprises people who have been told that the path to wealth is cutting expenses and saving diligently. And saving matters. Saving gives you the capital to deploy. But the 1% obsesses about returns, not restrictions. They ask, how much can this dollar earn, not how many dollars can I hold on to? The difference in mindset produces completely different financial behavior. The saver asks, can I afford this? The investor asks, what is the return on this? One question leads to restriction, the other leads to growth. The fifth thing almost nobody understands is the tax code. The tax system in almost every country on earth is designed to reward certain behaviors and penalize others. Employees pay the highest tax rates. Business owners and investors pay the lowest. This is not an accident. Governments want businesses to create jobs and investors to deploy capital into the economy. So they incentivize these behaviors through tax treatment. When you earn a salary, most of that money gets taxed before you ever touch it. When a business owner earns revenue, they spend money on legitimate business expenses first and pay tax only on what remains. When an investor holds an asset for more than a year, they often pay a lower tax rate on the gains than an employee pays on their salary. The 1% structures their financial life to take advantage of this system. Most people never learn it exists. The sixth thing is the concept of the money circle. Most people operate in a straight line. They earn money and they spend money. The money leaves and it does not come back. The 1% operates in a circle. They earn money, they invest it into assets. The assets generate returns, the returns get reinvested. The circle grows larger with every rotation. The same dollar that entered the circle at 25 looks completely different at 45 because it has been circling and compounding for 2 decades. Breaking out of the straight line and entering the circle is the single most important financial transition a person can make. The seventh thing is about proximity. The 1% knows that your financial results are heavily influenced by the 5 people you spend the most time with, not because of motivation or inspiration, because of information flow. The person who spends their evenings with other business owners hears about opportunities, strategies, and mistakes years before they become public. The person who spends their evenings consuming entertainment hears none of it. Access to the right conversations is worth more than any single piece of advice you will ever receive. This is why wealthy people invest heavily in their social environment, conferences, masterminds, memberships. They are not buying networking opportunities, they are buying information flow. The eighth thing is that the 1% thinks in decades while everyone else thinks in months. The financial moves that build real wealth are almost always boring in the short term and extraordinary in the long term. Buying an index fund today and not touching it for 20 years is boring. Looking at the account 20 years later is extraordinary. Starting a business that loses money for 12 months before it becomes profitable is painful. Owning that business for 15 years after it becomes profitable is life-changing. The 1% accepts short-term discomfort because their timeline makes the discomfort irrelevant. Most people abandon their financial strategies at exactly the moment they need to continue them because the results have not appeared yet. The ninth thing is about identity. The wealthiest people you will ever meet do not think of themselves as people trying to get rich. They think of themselves as builders, creators, owners, operators. The identity came before the money, not after it. They were thinking and acting like an investor before they had significant capital to invest. They were thinking and acting like a business owner before the business was large.
Like and follow now, or the video stops. I don't make the rules, so do it now.
Identity drives behavior. Behavior drives results. Results confirm identity. The loop runs in both directions. If you're waiting to feel like an investor before you invest, you have the sequence backwards. Act first. The feeling follows. The 10th thing is the one almost nobody is willing to hear. The 1% is not luckier than you. They are not smarter than you. They are not more deserving than you. But they started earlier. They started with imperfect information. They started before they felt ready. They made mistakes and continued. They treated every financial setback as information rather than evidence that it was not possible for them. The gap between the 1% and everyone else is not talent. It is the willingness to stay in the game long enough for the compounding to become visible. The system is not a secret anymore. You just read it. The question that determines everything now is what you do with the next hour, not the next year. The next hour. Because the people who change their financial lives do not do it with a single dramatic decision. They do it with a small, consistent action taken today that they repeat tomorrow and the day after that until the circle is moving and the compounding has begun. And the version of themselves they were trying to reach looks back at the starting point and cannot believe how close it always was. The conversation has started. You are in it now. What you do next is entirely up to you.
You know what to do.